Next up, we have Liz Medina, who's going to be talking about Mae West, the life, hell yeah, the life of an unapologetic sex symbol. Come on up.
Okay, so Mae West was an American sex symbol and one of the most successful entertainers of the 20th century. Now, you may not recognize her name, but I bet you recognize this cartoon. Mae West was one of the influencers of the Betty Boop character. Now, do you recognize this voice?
When I'm good, I'm very good. But when I'm bad, I'm better.
So this line embodies Mae West's confidence, witty persona, a wicked woman who enjoyed pushing boundaries in theater and film. And to be clear, Mae West didn't destroy anyone's life. She didn't topple governments. She committed the far more unforgivable crime of saying what she wanted out loud. So Mae West was a prolific actress, playwright, and singer. Her career spanned more than 7 decades, beginning as a child star around 1901 and lasting until her final film in 1978. She was known for her one-liners that focused on sexual innuendo and her comedic talent. We only have time to tour her Broadway and Hollywood eras, which are very entertaining, and I promise there is lots of sex in this story. But I also want there to be more sex in this room. So I'm going to introduce a new callback here. Anytime you see or hear any part of the word sex from here on out, just scream sex back at me. So let's try it out. Excellent. One more time. Great. Thank you. So Mae West was born Mary Jane West in 1893 in Brooklyn, the daughter of a charismatic bare-knuckle boxer known as Battlin' Jack and a fiercely ambitious German immigrant mother called Tilly. She was born a high-maintenance diva, also known as a Leo, which she described as the strongest sign that you could have, which is a very Leo thing to say. Her rising sign is also Leo, which, explains a lot. And so Baddies Jack taught his daughter how to lift weights at a time when girls were being taught to faint gracefully. And Tilly had wanted the stage herself, so she poured that hunger into her daughter. She was the original stage mom. She entered her into talent competitions before she was old enough to spell her own name. And for Mae's 5th birthday, when asked what she wanted, mother and daughter answered in perfect unison, a stage. So her father built one in the backyard, and then his oiled-up wrestler friends would come by and hype her up at her shows. So together, these two built the blueprint for a shameless woman and an unapologetic sex symbol. Thank you. So Mae West once said she was lucky to be born at just the right time, late enough not to be burned at the stake, and early enough to still shock the neighbors. That timing, combined with her parents' support, her own nerve and business acumen, made her untouchable. Now, Mae's mother cautioned her not to marry and to keep her options open and always prioritize her career. So in 1911, just shy of 18, she eloped with a fellow vaudeville performer called Frank Wallace. And the romance lasted roughly until the officiant finished speaking. By her own account, the second she heard husband and wife, something inside her said, "I'm not the marrying kind!" And she left him at the hotel that night. And so this marriage remains a secret for decades. But Mae uses it to protect her independence and to deflect proposals from other men. Don't worry, though, she does find true love later in life with a man who's not even born yet. and that marriage will resurface later in court. But for right now, she's got a lot of work to do. So in 1926, at age 33, she's done playing other people's characters, and she writes her own play called Sex. She produced it, she directed it, she starred in it because nobody else would touch it. The show featured a sex worker with a brain, a backbone, and zero interest in being redeemed by a respectable man. The gold-hearted heroine isn't punished for her lust. She's punished for refusing shame. The refusal is what makes the show a hit, and also what got police to raid the show. So the show was raided, and in 1927, Mae West was sentenced to 10 days in jail for obscenity and corrupting the youth. She could have paid the $500 fine. It's about $10,000 in today's money, and she could have gone home. But instead, she treats it like a press tour. She arrives in silk lingerie beneath her prison uniform, claiming a medical need to keep wearing it. And suddenly, the place where Typhoid Mary had once been quarantined is the hottest ticket in town. The press had a field day, and the stunt worked. Jail made her a national star, and she used this platform to launch her next chapter. She quipped that censorship made her famous. And what Mae West understood is that outrage is just attention, wearing a moral costume. So your girl does get arrested a few more times. So please enjoy this montage of Mae West looking like a baddie in pap walks and in court. There's look number 1. So she's fearless, and now she's famous. And what comes next is going to be bigger and better because Mae West is going to Hollywood. So in 1932, Paramount Pictures offers her a contract. She was 38 years old, which is ancient by Hollywood standards. And I love the way that Mae describes her Hollywood debut, and I'll try to do it in her voice. She says, "I didn't go to Hollywood humble, and I had my car fare home." She says, "They thought I was just a little girl from a little town trying to make good in a big town. Well, they were wrong. I was a big girl from a big town making good in a little town." Which is the most New York way of describing LA ever. So in Hollywood, her clout allows her to be innovative. She demanded script approval, which was unheard of in Hollywood, especially from a woman. She actually turned down the role of Belle Watling in Gone with the Wind, saying it was too small and it would need rewriting. She adjusted lighting. She pioneered cost-saving strategies like rehearsing for a week before filming. And shooting by set and costume rather than chronologically, so that she could spend every dollar she saved on her wardrobe, which I respect. Mae West was also an activist ahead of her time. She spoke publicly against police brutality towards gay men. She credited African-American performers for the shimmy dance that she popularized after seeing it in Harlem nightclubs. She gave a voice to underrepresented and disenfranchised communities, such as the incarcerated women that she met during her time in jail. And she would insist on hiring Black musicians and performers in her Hollywood films, even when studios resisted. She also made sure everybody got their bag. When her Broadway shows were raided, she posted bail for the entire cast and paid their legal fees. And right after Mae went to Hollywood, she learned that her father was on his deathbed, and she decided that her duty to the living outweighed a final goodbye, and she stayed on set to ensure that 500 extras didn't lose their pay. She also understood power beyond performance. When the racist management of the Ravenswood Apartments in LA rudely turned away her Black friends, she said, "Bet." And she bought the fucking building. That's right, she bought an entire 96-unit building. to combat racism, and also to make sure one of her lovers could visit her. So, by the mid-1930s, she's the highest paid person in Hollywood, and the second highest in the US, behind only William Randolph Hearst. Some historians argue that her films helped save Paramount from bankruptcy during the economic collapse of the 1930s, and a building on the lot is named after her. But success invites scrutiny, and in 1934, the Hays Code tightened moral censorship in Hollywood. Religious groups like the Legion of Decency called for boycotts of her films. And you know you've made it in showbiz when a religious group comes after you. Am I right? So they particularly hated her. She was too confident, too sexual, too in control. And when Hearst asks, "Isn't it time Congress did something about this Mae West menace?" she's like, "Look at this guy, how bored is he?" And she's just not fazed by this bullshit at all. And do you guys remember that secret marriage? Well, in 1935, her husband of like 45 minutes is suing her for half of her possessions. So her lawyer advises her to dress modestly. Don't come to court dripping in diamonds, she says. So what does Mae West do? She complies, technically. Per her lawyer's advice, she doesn't wear a single diamond. Instead, she shows up dripping in sapphires. Technically correct. The divorce was finalized in 1941, and she closed the chapter just as theatrically as she had opened it. So now we're into the 1940s. She's in her 50s, and I'm calling these the side quest years because she's got a lot of projects going on. She even records an album called The Fabulous Mae West. And now we're in the 1950s, and Mae West has toured the country. She's done Hollywood, she's done Broadway, and she realizes that what she really wants is to be a sex symbol surrounded by beautiful, muscled men. So, in 1954, at the age of 61, she opens a Las Vegas nightclub act. It was glamorous, it was campy, it was absurd, and it was completely on brand. And it is here, at the age of 61, where she meets Paul Novak, a former bodybuilder, 30 years her junior, who would become her devoted partner until her death. He was thrilled and completely starstruck by her. He really credits her with giving him his life's purpose, which was to take care of Mae West. Isn't that beautiful? So she continues to break the minds of censors, and at the ripe young age of 84, she starred in the film Sexette, playing a 20-something bride with multiple ex-husbands and her current lover all fighting over her because she's the most desirable woman in the world. It was ridiculous, it was self-aware, it was very Mae. Mae West was born into a culture that expected her to become a Victorian housewife. Instead, she became a self-authored myth. She was lucky enough to be born into a family that made space for her appetites. She pursued a stage career from the age of 7. She lifted weights when women were told to shrink. She dated without the intent to marry. She wrote roles when none existed. She turned arrest into advertising, censorship into currency, and scandal into strategy. And through it all, Mae West maintained a philosophy that feels radical even now, sorry. I don't know how to zoom out. I can't find my mouse. I got it. And through it all, Mae West maintained a philosophy that feels radical even now. She refused to feel shame on command. She didn't apologize for desire, and she didn't pretend modesty to make other people comfortable. And that has always been considered wicked. And I think that we're all so lucky that Mae West was able to become Mae West. And I'll leave you with this quote of hers: "You only live once, but if you do it right, once is enough." But it might be a misattribution, but it totally fits her vibe. So here's a toast to Mae West, the kind of wicked we need in the world.
Give it up one more time for Liz. That